Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 2 of the NCO podcast. I'm your host, The Right Opinion, and with me is my co-host, Slacker TV, and we have 3 wonderful guests today. We have BWC,
the Black Wolf Company,
Danarchy,
hello,
and BigBake.
What's up?
Oh, was I meant to say what's up?
Yeah,
okay.
you were. Yeah.
You were meant to do
That's how these things usually work.
BWC.
Have you ever watched or listened to a podcast before?
Oh, BWC.
I usually click off after the first second.
They do things backward in Australia.
Yeah.
It's actually upside down, but oh well.
All right. So basically,
today we've actually got spicy drama because that's the only time when we do the NCO podcast. We're not here for the filler. We're not here for the rubbish. We do the spicy shit only. And today we've discussed a topic that has been pretty spicy, and that is the Fainted versus Pokimane, and BWC in there somewhere, and Danarchy in there somewhere, and BigBake's somewhere too.
I'm just here.
He's just here.
He's arguing for one of the sides.
Yeah,
exactly. He was meant to be here for Destiny, but that fell through.
Yeah. And Bo Black's as well. But he couldn't be here with us today. I sincerely hope he hasn't died, though. If he has, it'll probably be a decent excuse. So I'll let him off in that instance.
Hopefully he didn't burn his house down.
Yeah, he's burning shirts and everything.
But basically, the situation today is discussing something to do with Fainted and Pokimane initially. And basically, after a bit of drama, which involved Pokimane claiming and then obviously subsequently it turning into a strike, Fainted released a video called The Dark Side of Pokimane, where he made a number of arguments against Pokimane and her behavior, particularly in regards to the copyright claims and also hypocrisy. So basically, that's what happened in Fainted's video. We'll leave a link in the description if you want to go and watch it. Pokimane responded, didn't get the best feedback for that. Fainted responded, and it kind of settled down for a bit. And then BWC, he comes in, releases his video, how Pokimane became a target, which is fucking stolen from me, must I add.
Also, you mentioned Danarchy's video as well.
Yeah, Danarchy's video is there too, because that was the darker side of Pokimane, and that revealed a darker side of Pokimane.
And of course, there's BigBake over here. BigBake with his darkest side of Pokimane video.
It was.
He just retweeted it on the.
Yeah, it was
basically content cop level.
Basically, but it was so dark that I decided I couldn't release it because I didn't want to ruin her career.
I get it.
Respect that a lot.
It's so dark you couldn't see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's only just a black screen for 20 minutes.
There's just us 20 minutes talking about how dark Pokimane is.
Somebody should actually just make a piss take video and just have a black screen between.
Discuss her pigmentation. We have a particularly dark part of Pokimane.
Man, this is we always have intellectual discussions on the podcast.
Okay.
All right. Reel it in.
So, in the arguments that ensued, I made the bold decision to retweet BWC's video.
Why would you do something so brave?
Why?
And
yet
so
controversial?
Because, he put a lot of effort into making it, and I respect that a lot.
Yeah,
and it caught the sights of someone known as Keemstar, and he decided that
Keemstar.
He decided that he was going to involve himself fairly passionately, and this led to a load of back and forth. We'll probably put it on the screen. Loads of there was a massive stream where Keemstar was.
I totally roasted Keemstar.
6 hours long, wasn't it?
Bo Blacks and I wasn't actually watching any of it. I haven't seen any of that stream yet.
I watched halfway through, and then I was like, "Nah, this is." It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And
it was like silly time. It was like in the UK, it was like 5 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have
See,
time
I'm 13 hours ahead of you all, so except for Danarchy and Tro.
Yeah, that was the situation in a nutshell. So we've come here today to discuss certain elements of the situation starting with Fainted, and we'll see where it goes from there. And I want to bring BWC's video into it, obviously, because that was quite a huge component. It instigated the situation again and caused a load of drama too. So the first question that I wanted to put to everyone in this beautiful call is, do you think Fainted manipulated the situation?
I think he did, but not so much in a way. I think he did, not so much in a way that was like intentionally trying to like, ooh, I'm gonna manipulate Pokimane and then get all this stuff. No, I don't think that at all. I just think that in his video he left out certain portions to make his point look better, and I think that he I don't think he did it maliciously. I just think that he was like, it was more like a lack of research. It was more, I don't know, I don't want to say lack of effort because I don't think it was that either. I think it was, I truly do think it was like a lack of research, more like trying to make paint Pokimane in a certain light.
I think it was more in the sense of, if you look at something, right, mostly what happens is someone will make a claim and then they have to go find shit to back up that claim after they've already made it. So it's kind of like he went and he found stuff to support his point while not really looking past that, because he wanted to make this video. So he was just finding things to back that. I don't think he purposely went, okay, look, I'm going to trim it here and trim it here.
Yeah, I mean, the video was called The Dark Side of Pokimane, not The Dark Side. And also some of the lighter sides as well. It was a video intended to focus on the bad stuff. If you want to go watch a video sucking Pokimane off, then look elsewhere, because that's not what this video was intended to be.
Yeah, but at the same time, I do feel like just because it's like a video against Pokimane, and I know that's like obvious that it's a video against Pokimane, I don't think that necessarily, like, I know that I don't think he did it with a malicious intent, but I don't think that like necessarily excuses him from not doing research and not having like enough evidence to back up his own claim.
Especially when it's something that he doesn't regularly do. Like, this wasn't a reaction commentary video, was it?
Yeah, I mean, the majority of
take on a situation.
Like, if you want to look at the rest of Fainted's content, it's very like jovial in nature. That's a weird word to use for me. But it's very like lighthearted. It's very centered around like comedy. It's very much centered around like making fun of something. But the Dark Side of Pokimane was completely different in the fact that it was like an attempt to branch out into like a sort of an exposing type video. Yeah, which he's obviously allowed to do that, but it's very different from the rest of the content that he produced.
I mean, and it was like his first attempt at this sort of video. So, I mean, naturally, I don't think he expected to get 5 million views. So it was his first attempt at that type of video. So it makes sense there would be some things that he messed up. Like that's to be expected when you first start making the like different types of videos. But so I think, basically saying that he put in no effort, this was stupid, like this is a stupid fucking video. It just doesn't make sense, because there was some solid points in his video.
Like, I mean, to be completely honest, like, no, not really, because I mean, like, even if like he said some things that could potentially be true if you like looked at it from a certain angle, but overall I don't think that Fainted video was like, I mean, it really was just kind of like taking things out of context to prove a point, and it's like
it wasn't as damning as what it was made out to be.
It's just got a lot of holes in it.
It wasn't made out to be. I think the only thing that suggests that it was incredibly damning was the view count. Like, I don't know that people actually take it that seriously. And the video wasn't meant to be taken that seriously.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't think that it really impacted Pokimane in the way that, like, a lot of people think it did. I looked at her social blade the same day that video blew up. She literally lost no subscribers. I don't think she's lost any subscribers since then, even when PewDiePie's hopped on and everybody else has hopped on. But the whole thing is that Fainted, as a commentator, yes, he didn't expect the video to blow up. Yes, it was his first attempt. And yes, I think that it does need to be considered that he doesn't usually make that kind of content. But I don't think that just because, like, oh, he didn't know it was going to blow up, that completely excuses the fact that he pushed a narrative that people are going to take at face value. Because, I mean, come on, let's be completely honest here. The typical YouTube user is not going to do a bunch of research and, like, further into the situation. Some might, but most do not. And they're going to take whatever the commentator that they're watching says at face value. They're going to assume that they're being given the facts and nothing but the facts. And yeah, I mean, we know that Pokimane is not 100% like sitting there eating salad. Like, hold on, I'm going to use a specific example. Like, Fainted did the thing where he talked about her eating salad while reacting to videos. like, yeah, I'm sure that we know 100% that Pokimane does not like just sit there and eat salad the entire time. And it's like, for any Pokimane fan,
I don't think people actually think that that's what she did.
You say that.
Really. It was an example rather than this is all she does.
I know, but
it's like,
I think it was intended.
That should be pointed out.
I think it was intended to be an example, but to me, it just came across like when I first watched the video and I did not know anything about the situation. I literally did not know who Fainted was. I didn't know who Pokimane was really. All I knew was that she like beefed with Keemstar a while back. I did not I was completely uninvolved with the situation. I watched the Fainted video and I looked at it and I was like, huh, all right, well, she just sits there eating salad the entire time. And I personally thought that was what she did because that's what it made it look like.
I mean,
but then I did, yeah.
So while she made it do that the entire time, I looked for it last night, but I saw a Twitter clip a while back where it was a sped up video of Pokimane stream where she wasn't even in the room. She was out of her room and it was like sped up for like it was like a whole 5-minute part of her stream where she wasn't even in the room. They were just a TikTok video playing. She was just chilling out in the other room doing whatever. She wasn't even in the room paying attention to her stream at all. And the video was just playing. It's like, so while she may do it all the time, the majority of these streamers, like, you know, Fortnite highlight videos, how they always be in everyone's recommended. You watch one of those like 30 seconds, 90% of the time, it's someone literally just sitting, looking at their screen, eating their dinner. It's something these streamers do. And they normally will never talk. And if they do talk, it's just one offhand comment here or there.
Yeah, and I mean, like, that's a fair thing to say, but he could have used, like, Fainted made it seem like that's all she does. And I mean, like, I agree that she shouldn't just sit there, like, adding very basic commentary, because honestly, I've looked at some of the stream highlights where she's, like, actually doing that, and it really is just her, like, sitting there, like, kind of doing, like, a Jinx style thing, where it's like, oh, this is funny, and then she like pauses the video. She at least pauses the video and everything, but still, I'm really not big on reacting to content in that form. But at the same time, Fainted made it seem like that's literally all she did.
I'm kind of confused by that point because I am 100% sure, because I rewatched the video this morning, that he said that she only does it for maybe 10% of her streams. Like those were words that he said those words. 100%.
No, he said that.
He said reacting to videos in maybe 10% of her streams, not the actual how she reacts to videos. It's just like the portion of stream where she's reacting to videos, like the breaks between playing games and when she goes to eat. That's what he was saying there.
I mean, I still think it should have been pointed out. Like, I think it's a fair point to point out that sometimes she does this. And I appreciate you might have interpreted it as that's all she does. But personally, that's not how I interpreted it as. And bearing in mind that a lot of the people who would have clicked on the video in the first place would be people who are familiar with Pokimane. They would probably know that she doesn't always do that, but it's still always worth highlighting that she does if you're going to make a critical piece. That is a valid criticism. So I don't really see the problem with including that, to be honest.
Well, no, there's no problem including it, but I'm just saying that the average YouTube user clicking on it would most likely perceive that as something that would be her just doing that. Like, obviously not everyone who is watching the video is going to think that, right? Like, you didn't think that, but I thought that until I later did a little bit more like digging, I guess you would say. But I walked out of the Fainted video thinking that everything that he said was 100% accurate. And because I didn't know anything about the situation. And even though I personally wasn't like super big on the video, because I mean, like, it was very basic to me, but I still appreciated the points that were presented in it. But I just don't, after doing a lot more research into it, I'm like, I don't know. It's a little bit, it's established on shaky foundations. And whenever you have somebody like PewDiePie coming in and saying stuff like, I mean, I get it. PewDiePie wasn't like saying that Pokimane was 100% in the wrong, because he did mention like that he would understand why she wanted to do it. He was still bringing attention to the situation. And I mean, with so many people who watch PewDiePie and with so many people watching the Fainted video, I think that it's a fair assumption to make that a lot of them, maybe like, even if just like 50% of the people who were watching Fainted's video or got to know Fainted's video through PewDiePie's video, would think that she just sits there the entire time eating salad. But that's only one specific example. The rest of Fainted's videos,
ridiculous. How much salad can one person eat?
No, I mean, like,
obviously she wasn't spending an entire time.
No, I mean, like, obviously obviously not everyone is going to think that she sits eating salad every stream, but the whole implication of it is that she sits there just watching videos the entire time. Maybe not necessarily eating, but just sitting there adding little to no commentary to what she's doing. And I mean, I agree. Sometimes she actually legitimately doesn't do that, but it just feels like that's not all she does, you know?
My point with that was that was probably a weaker argument that he made, where he could have made a stronger argument with the substance of her commentary. And where
I don't think that it was like
adapt onto it.
Yeah, I don't think it was like an invalid criticism. I think it was a valid criticism. I just think it could have been way better, made it a little bit clearer, I guess, so that there wasn't even an opportunity for somebody to misinterpret it as something else, as I did.
Okay,
For sure.
Okay, fair enough. We did, I think that's fairly comprehensively covered. I did really want to discuss the Instagram incident because I think that's a really interesting one.
I think it is too.
Okay, I'm going to ask the question to you guys. Was Pokimane justified in pulling up that guy's Instagram and being rather, I guess, pejorative is the word? Pejorative?
I'm gonna Google what that means.
We don't understand your fancy speak.
Yeah, I don't speak British.
Expressing contempt or disapproval.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess mocking.
Yeah, that's a bit.
I mean, I guess was it justified for Pokimane to pull up Davsev's Instagram with the intent of mocking him? For context, for anyone who hasn't seen that, Davsev posted re-uploads of Pokimane streams and also spammed her chat, and Pokimane thought it was fair justice to respond by going through his Instagram publicly in front of a lot of viewers. So I would like to hear your point of view on that, guys. Go for it.
Yeah, okay. I think I was going to say, Tro, you've sort of answered your own question there. I think anyone who's a Pokimane sympathizer will just say, "Oh, she was just pulling up his Instagram as public. She wasn't doing anything wrong. She knew exactly what she was doing. She pulled up the guy's Instagram with the intent of humiliating him. That's exactly what she did." And people were saying that, people who are sympathizing with Pokimane are saying, "Oh, well, it was a public Instagram. She can pull it up. It's not really doing anything." But she went in there with the intent of humiliating this guy, and obviously that's not a very nice thing to do. Especially, he's not like a big YouTuber with a big audience or anything. It doesn't matter if the Instagram was public or private or what. If he's someone who doesn't have a large audience, you're picking on someone not your own size, kind of thing. If you get what I mean.
There's two ways you can look at this. Either Pokimane kind of forgot that her scope of her influence. She was live to 20,000 people. She pulled up this guy's Instagram while they were, in a bit of an argument. She 100% should have known that her fans were going to go give this guy shit. If she didn't, then she's ignorant. If she did, it's just a dick fucking move.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
all right,
you've
hold on
nailed
a
it.
second. All right, so do we know what kind of content that Davsev produced?
Yeah.
Basically,
all right, hold on.
It's pretty similar to Boplex, to be honest.
I mean, all right. So essentially, with that, I agree. She probably, it was kind of a low blow move to like bring up his Instagram and all that. But at the same time, he doesn't really seem like that bothered by it on the stream.
I mean, did
like he even sounds
say,
like
no. He was like, "Oh no, don't do that." Oh, like, oh shit.
No, that's the thing, BigBake. Like he said no. Don't do that, because when she was looking at his channel, she said, "Wait a second, this is clickbait. You're literally clickbaiting other people's content. You're stealing content. You're re-uploading it. And not only are you just re-uploading it, but you're making clickbait out of it. And you're just like basically shilling for views." And then she was like, "I'm going to take your videos down because like whatever." And then he's like, no, don't do that, because he doesn't want her to take down his videos. That was not him responding to her bringing up his Instagram. When she brought up his Instagram, she was like, "Oh, you have an Instagram?" And he's like, "Oh, yes,
that's me,
that's me." Like he literally went like that.
I mean,
I don't know about you guys, but I mean, it feels like if he was really that worried about it, like I don't feel like he would have gone, "Oh, that's me." Like really excited, you know what I'm saying?
Not really the point, is it? Like, for example, if I like chucked an apple at some random bloke's head in the street and he picked it up and said, "Oh, I love apples," That doesn't make it suddenly okay. You've
Well,
just
it
locked
does.
you've
I
just
mean-
locked the fruit of someone in the street. It's not a very nice thing to do.
Well, no, in that situation, it kind of backfires on you. And I agree. I 100% agree that the whole intent, I think the whole thing that Pokimane was trying to get at, which I think was a little messed up, was that she saw his channel. She saw that he was kind of like the clickbaiting dude. She was like, all right, this guy's a fucking idiot. And then she's like, all right, I'm going to get this guy. And then she brought up his Instagram with the intent to make fun of him or whatever. And then she was like, all right, because even at the end of it, she was like, I hope this taught you a lesson. And they's like, okay. And they left.
Yeah.
So I think she was really trying to
No, she blocked it. She
blocked him
Yeah.
blocked him and banned him and everything
Banned
like
him.
that. And then, that's it. That's literally all that happened.
The-
So I do think that in that situation, she was like unjustified in bringing up his Instagram. I just feel that the criticism that like they're exposing and harassing him, I don't know. I mean, I'm not Davsev. I don't know. The whole thing about it is that Davsev feels like somebody who would go into something wanting to start something. You know, why would he be in Pokimane's Discord server when he knows full well what kind of content he makes? He knows that she wouldn't approve of the videos he makes. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure he didn't expect her to bring up his Instagram, but at the same time, it's kind of like, dude, what are you doing? Like, why are you going into the Discord server, spamming in her chat saying,
Well-
I'm going to donate $5,000, was it?
Yes, $5,000.
Yeah.
Like he's so obviously trying to grab her attention. So it's kind of, that's like me like randomly just saying, tweeting at like a big YouTuber or something like that and saying, you're stupid, you're an idiot, I hate you, your content sucks, like just over and over again, separate tweets, like 50 tweets or whatever. And then the YouTuber finally responds and said, dude, fuck off. And then I'm like, oh, you responded? What? Or like if they blocked me or something like that, then I'm like, oh, they blocked me. Looks like they can't take criticism. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that was the whole thing that Davsev was trying to go for. Like he was intentionally trying to like start shit so that he could get something out of it.
I don't know if he was trying to start shit. I think it was just, he was trying to grab for attention, but I don't think he was trying to cause a fight.
Maybe not start shit, but he was definitely grabbing for attention.
I think he was clout grabbing, but also I think Davsev, just based off the way he, like the words he used and how he spoke, I don't think he's let's say the smartest person. He does not seem like a very bright individual.
You can say the R word, BigBake. You can say the R word.
I've gotten in too much trouble for saying that shit, so I'm trying to fade away a little bit.
But yeah, basically, I mean that's a little fuzzy because I mean,
yeah, I agree with it. It's a bit fuzzy, but it's still worth pulling up in a video criticizing.
I think so too. I just don't think that it's like. I mean, I think in that situation, it just so happened to like turn out fine, but I think it could have been a lot worse, and I think she should have definitely been responsible with her platform. But I do think that it's kind of like we have to take into account that Davsev is not like a holy saint. You know what I'm saying?
It may also be because of like, you know, the difference in language and stuff like that. Because it's clear he's from another country.
Yeah, he's Croatian.
He does have
something?
a bit of a foreign accent.
I thought he was Croatian. There was just something in my back of my head saying he's Croatian.
I thought he was.
I don't know. I'm going for his Instagram now. He's like been all over the place.
I don't know. I thought he was like Hispanic or something like that.
Dude
like,
travels a lot.
If he is
I don't know why he'd be
someone owes me a
embarrassed
tenner.
though. Like he's a pretty. You'd get hard from him, wouldn't you?
Thank you.
Link his Instagram in chat. I want to check it out as well.
All right, hold on.
Okay.
Look for the picture with the shorts.
Stefan Davsev.
Why are you wearing your shorts like this?
His Instagram bio is
he's an actual tank.
His Instagram bio is dip me in chocolate and throw me to the lesbians.
I mean, when that
I'm just gonna
cervix
look
wrecker
at
guy
his most,
said that she liked him, I think she did
so
like him a little bit.
At the replies to some of his tweets.
Look at the recent one.
Legend. Pokey only has fame because she's hot. Fuck Pokimane. Pokimane. Mad lad. Oh yeah. Ignore the thought and her army. She's going to get what's coming to her and then some. Legend. Epic with a B emoji. Good job, mate. Keep up the great work. keep going. I love you, bro. So obviously, Pokimane has dealt him a severe blow. Fuck Pokimane. Fuck Poki. Love from Germany. Legend with some hands. Came from the dark side of Pokimane. You are a legend. My guy. Poki a thought. So yes, Pokimane has definitely...
Where are you getting these?
I'm reading
That's on his Instagram.
I'm reading the replies to one of his photos on Instagram right now.
Obviously, I just put up his Twitter, and we have a tweet. He tweeted out below. He said, "Hot girls take advantage of beta males at blow flags."
Oh no! Oh no! So I mean, judging from it, I think it's pretty obvious. Like he's not exactly like, I mean, he hasn't exactly been damaged from this.
I refer you to the Apple argument.
Yeah. I mean, again, like I said, like I think in this situation, it just so happened to turn out great, but for him at least. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's kind of like your Apple analogy. I don't think that it was right for her to bring up his Instagram, because I really do think that she was trying to like teach him a lesson or something like that.
Mm.
While I respect the hustle of making compilation videos, because
respect the hustle.
Yeah, exactly. Respect that. I mean,
there is no hustle.
Dude,
those Vine channels back in
Danarchy. Those Vine channels back in the day were easily making $100,000 a month. I gotta respect that shit. I gotta give them props.
I mean, that's steeling content.
Yeah, but they're making easy money. So
well, that brings
whoa. Well, is it reporting news though, guys?
Hold on, wait a second.
No, shut up.
Wait a second. So, do you guys? Well, all right. Next question.
Okay. The next question. I want to talk about BWC's video because it is one of the few videos on YouTube recently I watched in its entirety.
Oh, fuck.
So, yeah.
I speed up YouTube videos.
You are special. I want to discuss whether BWC's video was too protective of Pokimane and what she'd done wrong.
I don't think so at all.
I think his point with the copyright claim was a bit off. Because, I mean, while... she didn't want the drama to get any farther, she still abused the copyright system. And as a YouTuber, she should know how fucked the YouTube copyright system is. So then using it to her own advantage is a bit stupid.
Well, hold on. So, I mean, the whole thing about that is like, let's bring up DavSev for a second, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think that Pokimane would be 100% justified to take down DavSev's content?
I mean... somewhat, but it's still entirely, as long as there's other streamers in the video, and it's still, compilations are still transformative in a way of, there's no other way you can get all of them at one time. Because personally, right, so let's say I was a Fortnite player, I couldn't watch 30 streams at one time. So if I wanted to see the best of each stream, I would look towards compilations. There is a certain market for it, and there is a reason that they're there. There's a reason that they thrive. So it's transformative in nature because they're compiling all these other streamers and bringing it into one video. So I see why there's a market for it. So I would say it was not justified to take down his content, as long as it's not just a straight re-upload of her stream. If it's just one stream highlight of her, then yes, she's justified. But if there's more than one streamer, she has no claim to it.
With what she took down, though, the videos she took down, she said it's the ones that clickbaited her, like the ones that had the misleading titles and thumbnails, that she would take down and threatened to take down. Like the other ones, she wasn't too worried about.
What about BoBlack's stuff? She also took down his stuff, which is why he got involved in the
She only took down his one video.
She did that through her network because she was like, all right, I'm going to quietly do this. And I'm not defending that. I think that she was totally unjustified in doing it. But
nobody's defending it.
She went to her network, and then she was like, all right, so can you take this video down? And they're like, all right, sure. And then they claimed the video, and then BoBlack's basically kept on doing it over and over, like appealing it over and over again. And then they obviously, the people who, because of the broken YouTube copyright system, their network obviously kept rejecting his claims like immediately. So after about a month of doing that, he got a strike on his channel, a copyright strike, and the video was completely taken down because he had done it one too many times. And I don't think that Pokimane's intention originally with telling her network to do that was like, oh, I want to give this guy a copyright strike. I think she just wanted to stop the video from garnering more attention. And I do think that she was unaware that he got a copyright strike until he had actually reached out to her. I don't think that justifies what she did. I think she shouldn't have gone out to her
apparently
network.
until the Kavos video. She
the
actually
Kavos video.
saw
Okay.
who it was.
I have not seen the Kavos video. That is the one video I have not watched.
I cannot stand Kavos' voice. I would not watch that video. I mean, unless someone would have to pay me a large sum of money to sit through that video. So
I didn't watch the Kavos video, but I can at least understand why that would be the first situation in which that she would hear about it.
But the point remains that the way she's using the copyright system and she's taking down like videos and stuff. And I know like BWC in your video you said she's only ever tried to take down like 2 videos ever, but that's only 2 that are very publicly known. There's probably a whole bunch of videos she's taken down and it's just sort of quietly gone under the carpet. And you also made the point that it's not illegal, so she can do what she wants. And then again, just because it might fall in her favor lawfully. You've kind of done what you said Fainted does, in that you've cherry picked a little bit and then come up with an opinion to conclude that she'd done nothing wrong, when really she kind of did a little bit do something wrong.
Basically, you made your claim, which was you think that Fainted's video was wrong, and then you looked for evidence to support that. Instead of looking at the video objectively and then saying, okay, this is what I think is wrong, you went, no, this is wrong, and here's why. You didn't look at it from like an unbiased perspective. You wanted to make that video, so you looked at it with the intent of finding reasons to pick his content off. It
was a hit piece on Faded more than it. When I watched it, it felt more like a hit piece on Faded than a debunking of.
To be fair,
Pokimane hate. Sorry,
the bit on Cyrus was more of a hit piece. To be honest.
Yeah, I saw that. And I just clicked off. I've seen enough videos about Cyrus at this point.
All right, hold on. So the thing is that I don't think it's fair to say that it was a hit piece on Fainted. Maybe you could make the argument for Cyrus because, to be completely honest, like, even though I don't like Cyrus's content and I think that his video on Pokimane was awful, it still felt kind of unnecessary to the rest of the video, because there are plenty of other people who have done the exact same thing Cyrus has done. But the whole thing about Fainted is that I feel that BWC provided, justification for his reasons. I think I don't think you can say that it was done from an objective, unbiased standpoint, because it obviously wasn't. But I don't think he took anything out of context. I don't think he said anything that was like out of bounds. Like, he didn't say anything like inherently untrue about Fainted. So I don't think it's fair to call it a hit piece.
I think the only criticism I should really take on board is the emotion in what I say, because for what it was still pretty emotional.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
some of the points.
I don't know. You're just kind of
I finished that whole point with his integrity is in tatters.
Yeah, that's that kind of.
Yeah, that was a little dramatic. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that was a bit dramatic. So, you were a bit dramatic in that video.
That is the BWC way that you're gonna be dramatic.
Yeah, I think your point still stands, though. I don't think you said anything that couldn't be backed up.
Yeah, with Fainted's video, it was more of like just take it apart and show you why it's not as concrete as what people are saying it is.
Yeah,
because people were just basing their whole assumption about Pokimane and the whole situation on that one video, without actually looking at it and saying that this is a bit different to what it's meant to be.
I mean, yeah, it's there. Believe it or not, I watched your video while I was this morning when I woke up, which was painful. But like, your video wasn't
44 minutes of your life wasted.
Oh my god. I was so tired. I'm like, you were talking like an Australian, and I didn't understand half your words because I was tired, and I'm like, what is happening right now?
You have to use the speed up option. That's my best friend.
Yeah.
Yes, please do.
Yes, yeah.
I mean,
and I watched
trying to read a
40-minute
script.
Yeah, and some of the points he made was like genuinely, I was like, I didn't know this, and that's interesting. But some of the points, it feels like you were kind of cherry picking his video as well. Kind of like he took stuff out of context with his video, but you kind of took stuff out of context with his taking stuff out of context, if that makes any sense.
I tried to not do that, though, because I tried to review the whole thing, if that makes sense. I tried to review 44 every single point.
I mean, it's kind of hard not to review the entire thing.
Yeah, that's why it was so long.
But you went at the video with an agenda, and it was very obvious that you don't like Fainted. And you were trying to portray, it seemed like you were framing the video as a non-emotional thing, and then it was also very emotionally charged.
I do think that your BOC's personal, because you dislike Fainted BWC. Like, be completely honest. Like, before you chatted with him the other night on the Bo Black stream, like before that.
That whole stream made me dislike him more, but oh well.
All right, well, do you dislike him? Like, not just his content, but like him?
Well, I don't actually know him, do I? So I don't dislike him. I just dislike his content.
You seem to dislike everything about reaction commentary. So I feel like
I truly hate reaction commentary.
I feel like what happened was when you noticed he made reaction commentary, you were like, well, then this video is fucking stupid. And you went through and you started, like, okay, I'm gonna dissect this. But it was emotionally charged because of your hatred for reaction commentary. So when you saw that he makes that type of content, you were more inclined to make your video.
That's the whole thing. Like, I don't understand. What you dislike him. I mean, I've chatted to him a lot, one-on-one, and he seems like a really nice guy. He's been nothing but nice to me. And yeah, he's been a decent bloke. So,
but you're in his favor though, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. But at the same time,
him and Cyrus hid behind Keemstar the other day when he was absolutely shitting on Bo Blacks.
Well, I don't know if did they hide behind him or just saw a big YouTuber was backing them and were a bit sort of.
And
isn't that
Cyrus
behind him?
Cyrus isn't currently logged into his main Twitter. Any tweets are coming from Ryan, but he was on Friday.
Why?
I mean, well, because Cyrus hasn't been on his main Twitter for a while because he wants to grind to 1 million. I've been running Ryan's Twitter for most of the past couple weeks as well because he had a grind as well.
This is exposed. My life is a lie.
I thought only celebrities didn't do their own tweets.
I publicly said most of Ryan's tweets the past week or so have been him, but for a solid week, 90% were me.
Wow.
Because
I'm exposing him now.
I made this public. I publicly talked about it. But yeah,
I thought that was a joke. I thought
no, it's not. I'm genuinely the one making most of the tweets.
Wow, that's weird. Anyways,
you guys are so weird.
Wait, what were we talking about again?
We were talking about BWC not liking Fainted.
Oh yeah. I do feel
we got sidetracked by tweets.
I do feel that BWC has a personal dislike for Fainted's content, which resulted in him being more critical towards Fainted's video. But I don't think that in and of itself immediately invalidates everything that BWC said.
Invalidate, but it sort of strikes a question: what's the point in this video? Just because one person despises reaction commentary, and then trying to shove to the side the fact that he's a reaction commentator and approach it as if he's a standard commentator. That's what I don't like. Well, we're all holding him to the same standards as the kind of videos we make, and there's so much snobbery in the NCOs how to correctly make a commentary video when I don't think there is one true answer. And cast aside Fainted just because he does things differently. There's obviously a market for his kind of content, and he's not doing anything inherently scummy, so I don't really see the deal.
My dislike was just in the way it was presented. He probably didn't intend it, but the way he made it.
It was presented
it favored towards the people disliking Pokimane rather than taking an objective standpoint.
Well, hold on a second. I want to ask you a question, BDFC. If 90% of his videos were well edited, and he said the exact same things. But he did not use gameplay. He did not use the editing style that he does now. And he actually had well edited videos.
And he had an accent.
Do you think and he had
an American accent.
So no. If I made the exact same video,
if the Right Opinion made the exact same video, would you have made the video that you did?
Same script,
same thing said, same jokes.
That's a hard question though, because would the video be taken the same to the audience though? Because there's obviously an appeal to his content with his style.
Well, I think it would.
The only difference
let's be real here. I mean, Fainted literally had 500 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers when he made the Pokimane video. So he had literally no audience or almost no audience. But when the Pokimane video dropped, pretty much all of his audience has come from the Pokimane video. So, I mean, I don't think it's fair to say something like his audience perceived it as something else when he didn't even have an audience before this.
Yeah. It's kind of the point I was going to make. It's you say you don't like the way he made his video. He made his video like a reaction commentator with 1,000 subscribers trying out an exposed video for the first time. That is how he made the video, because that's exactly the situation that it was. Anything after that is incidental. It's not his fault. It blew up.
Yeah, he can't take the blame for the YouTube algorithm being fucking weird.
Yeah, but then it's the way he responded to that after it blew up, and he stood by what he said, even though most of it was from out of context points. Or clips, sorry. That's where it grind my gears. Like, he could acknowledge that. Like, he could have just said, oh yeah, there's a little bit thing. I'll just let this slide. But no, he stood up and went
I have
further.
to say I do exactly the same thing as he did. Because when a video bangs, you need to capitalize on that situation. You need to do what's best for your YouTube career. Like, it's not every day an opportunity.
We respect the hustle.
Around.
We respect the hustle.
Make like 45 videos.
Integrity.
It's a massive opportunity for
Where's
him.
the integrity in it?
I mean, it's kind of hard for me to say something like that because I'm pretty small, right? For me, if I were to make a video like that blew up to an extent, the same extent as Fainted's video, but I realized afterwards there were some errors with it.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would go back on what I said. I might concede to it, but again, Fainted is not me. I'm not Fainted. So we have completely different personalities. So it is a bit of a flawed analogy, but I honestly don't know what I would do in that situation. Personally, obviously, it's easy for me to say something like, oh, I would acknowledge that my video had issues, and then I would like apologize for what I didn't get right, and then I would stand by what I did get right. But I don't know. And I don't know if anyone in here would really do that.
Oh yeah, I would
Like,
100% stand behind my video and completely bullshit my way through it. But that's just me. that is my personality. I am stubborn and I am bullheaded.
You mess it up
Oh,
as well.
It doesn't matter. Once I say something, I'm gonna stick behind it until I get like bullied to a point where I just go to bed. And I've done that countless times. I'll say something I'll say something completely fucking stupid, and 2 hours later, I'll still be defending it, even though I know I'm wrong. I know I'm 100% wrong.
That's all right. But I mean, the whole thing about Fainted is that his videos had errors, and I think he should have definitely acknowledged some of those errors. But at the same token, it's kind of like when you look at it from like objectively at the end of the day, does any of this really matter? Like, does this drama really matter?
Yeah.
I mean,
it was kind of
like
we already established.
It was the most pointless drama I've ever seen, to be honest.
I mean, like,
Keemstar made it out more than what it should have been.
Literally, all this started with like Pokimane getting into an argument with Keemstar about calling someone a virgin on Twitter.
Yeah, and that was like 3 months ago.
Yeah,
I agree. It's the most pointless drama. It's nothing.
Yeah, and Keemstar is still salty because she got more likes than him on the tweet.
He got ratioed. Yikes.
He got ratioed.
Yeah,
upset.
It's kind of in the sense of like we already established that Fainted's video had no effect on Pokimane. So my whole thing is I don't really see the point of BWC making a whole 44-minute video talking about why this video was bad when we already established the video had no real effect. It had nothing happened because of the video.
Yeah, but I mean, I still think he has the right to speak his opinion.
Oh, he has the right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of like Danarchy with your video. I thought your video was pretty good, but at the same time, I don't really see much point in it because all that really resulted from was like, be it Bo Black's making some bullshit claims about you on Twitter. And then that was like, you made an entire 12-minute video on it.
Yeah, it did.
I didn't actually watch it.
I mean, that was pretty much it. It was like some things that it was basically criticizing Bo Blacks. And you called him a white knight and everything like that, which I don't think was really fair.
No, it wasn't fair, to be honest. No, my video was an opinion piece, really. I was really never meant to have any sort of big impact, and I never expected it to, and it didn't. So,
well, yeah,
who cares?
I mean, to actually have an opinion for once, because I love to hear it. And I'm also going to release a video on this soon, and so I'll have my opinions in there too. So I didn't want to give too much away.
Opinion.
I mean, typically, I always look at my videos as what happens in the most influential case scenario. What happens if this video blows up? And so whenever I make content, I'm always thinking about exactly what I say. And I know not a lot of people do the same, but at the same time, I think when you have videos that do blow up, any of those videos could be yours. And I think you have to kind of acknowledge in advance the possible implications of a video blowing up. And I've had videos blow up that I've gone back and said, well, I could have done that better.
Like the Rags one.
Rags one is a great example. I mean, I'm fairly unapologetic for most of my parts, but I do completely concede that in this situation, I clearly did not vet Quinton's points enough, and I failed to hold him to the same standard that I would hold myself to. And so for me, it's a case of, I actually do believe it's okay to admit you were wrong, even if the video is your most popular one. I think in some sort of way it shows character growth, as long as your actual genuine apology leads to transformation following that. If you say, I want to do better, and then you do better, then I think that's a good thing. I feel it's risky if you do hold the line, because although, as you say, you kind of do get the fan base from being very strong in your stances, at the same time, it will kind of underlie inconsistencies that people may call you out on in the future.
Yeah, and this is kind of like, I agree with you, Joe. I don't really do that mindset because I don't really think any of my videos are going to blow up, but at the same time, I don't think my videos would really like impact anyone in the sense that, in the way that I frame it, if that makes sense. Like I don't feel like I'm overtly vitriolic or anything like that. But basically, the whole thing about it is that with the fainted video, I think that it is kind of obvious and apparent that he does like. I don't think he thinks that he had any errors. He did have errors, and I think he should at least like admit there were some errors. But at the same time, when he made that video talking about the Pokimane's boyfriend, right? Like the whole claim by Bo Blacks, and therefore you, BWC, a little bit in your video, was that he had broken the terms of the agreement that he would not make any more videos talking about the Pokimane situation. And I agree, it was stupid, it was clickbait, it was obviously meant to just like capitalize further off of a trend. But I don't think that he broke the agreement. I don't think he did at all. I think that like the video really wasn't about Pokimane. And you could make the argument, if he had left it up and still made money off of it, that he was just like being a complete asshole by clickbaiting and using Pokimane's name and everything like that, even when the video didn't really have anything to do with her. But I mean, he deleted the video, like, I don't know what the exact amount of time was, but it was a little bit later. I don't know if it was like a day or something. I watched a little bit of the video because I was curious to see what it was, but it didn't really involve Pokimane that much. And he did apologize for it, to my understanding. He did apologize for it.
After he went silent on Twitter.
Yeah, because he was for the first time in his life receiving an enormous amount of hate. So I think I would go quiet. In fact, I have been in that situation and I did go quiet. So
I don't know if it's
Cavill's situation.
Yeah, I immediately after the Cavill situation, I left Twitter for a week because I was just not used to bloody Keemstar on like 3 million subs at a time, and Cavill's at wherever he was at the time, all of their fans attacking my tiny channel. I was like, oh shit, this is actually horrible.
Yeah.
Keemstar was mad at me, but I didn't experience any hate or anything like that. If anything, some people commented on my video saying, hey, I came here from the Keemstar tweet. This is actually a pretty good video. I liked it. But so I don't know.
Keemstar just got mad at me and blocked me because
I know how you guys, I know what it feels like to have like a bigger YouTuber like tell you to go fuck yourself, basically. But I wouldn't know the experience of that resulting in a large amount of hate.
It honestly does. It was exactly the same thing. Where Keemstar streamed him watching my video and basically just taking the piss out of me.
Oh, I remember
just in the same way as as what happened to Fainted, and it was horrible. Like the nasty things people were saying about me, just personal comments, like terrible. It really was. So I completely sympathize with Fainted on that part.
We also have to consider that Fainted like is a part of the popular opinion at this point. Like he may have gotten some hate. And I'm not going to say that he deserved all the hate that he got, because he really hasn't like necessarily done anything extremely like disgusting or awful, but
hasn't touched any kids.
No, he hasn't. But at the same time, I do feel like you need to be prepared for a situation like that.
I feel like it's always very weird to see how commentators handle drama, because there are kind of two ways you go about it, right? You can take the Rice Gum approach where you just intentionally piss everyone off. and just make fun of it, or you can go the other approach of not acknowledging it all, or you can go the third approach of kind of just being like, what the fuck's happening here? Stop.
I think it's just the first time that gets most people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
After that, you're sort of like, okay,
Yeah.
I kind of get what this is all about now.
Yeah.
The first time, it's just
the first time
horrible.
Tim Stallings called me out, I responded for an hour. The second time when he accused me of sexual harassment, I responded with "suck my chode" and got suspended. And that was it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it's really interesting, actually. It's so hard to like have the pitch perfect response to drama in these situations, but and I cover this in my video soon, because Twitch streamers just continuously take L's in these situations because they're just not prepared. They have no clue how to respond to drama. And someone like Fainted, even though that may have been like his first big proper situation, he's watched the commentary boys. He knows how they interact. He's acclimatized himself to the environment. And that's why, like, although I don't see myself aligning with every one of his viewpoints, I completely see why people got behind Fated in that situation, just because he presented his points in a way that seemed much more credible and organized. I think that's really important, as many of these Twitch streamers, they've never dealt with any drama at all. They say things day in, day out that will contradict each other. They are complete hypocrites in many ways. And most of them don't think about their morality on a daily basis. And it makes it incredibly easy for anyone to just pull up a Twitch streamer and call them out for it. I mean, I guarantee, like, you could do it with most of them. And the commentators, we have a different, like, set of ideals, and I think that's a good thing in a way. But at the same time, it's really interesting when someone out the community gets in drama with someone in the community. People in commentary just seem to always manage to make a more persuasive case.
Yeah, you're right.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, is that not the point of commentary, though?
Oh,
Kind of like persuasive essay in a way.
Without a doubt, but at the same time, I think commentary hasn't always been like the home of like exposed videos and content like that. It's not really like, obviously it's a formula that works much more neatly for us. Well, I mean, typically if you have, I'm gonna save this all for my video, but when you have like that drama, because Twitch streamers aren't really used to it, they tend to not know how to respond.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
I think that was Pokimane's biggest issue. I think at the end of the day, I don't think like neither of the people in the situation didn't have a case. I think they both had like points that they could have made. It's just Fainted made them so much better and made them much more convincingly, even if we take into account that there may have been faults within his reasoning. And that's something that I'm going to look into. Plug my video here if you're watching. Link in the description. It probably won't be out. It probably won't be out by the time
Abusive host.
Yeah, but I think that this was a pretty productive discussion.
Yeah,
I think that it was very interesting.
Okay,
Definitely.
I think that,
No one was called a beta.
I think that we've pretty much covered everything that there has to be covered about this situation at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd say it was pretty productive. It was pretty productive. Bit of spice, bit of civility. I like the mix.
Yeah.
And
I didn't fall asleep.
We need Keemstar
We'll
on one of these one day.
We'll have to.
we got to talk about the darkest places of Pokimane for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Just a black
literal.
This is Pokimane.
The podcast will be
Mole on our
Well,
lower
thank you.
back.
45 minutes of Keemstar screaming, 1
Thank
minute of Tro talking intro and outro.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to the NCO podcast. I know it's been a while since we did one of these, so apologies for that. It's just very hard. It was just. Some things it's hard to get these types of things organized, but we will try and get some more NCO podcast episodes out a little bit more consistently, at least. But until then, see you guys later.
Hey, Slacker.
What?
Why are you slacking?
Don't say it! No! We went the entire podcast. I thought we were finally over it, but...
Let's go.